I eat a lot of food because that's how I get paid. Pretty dumb life. Unfortunately for me, all those really bad food decisions have added up, and I need to do something about it, like, right now. So when I got the opportunity to race in the marathon in London, one of 7 world major races and one of the most prestigious races in the world, I jumped at it. Or ran at it. So for the past 13 weeks, the majority of my days have been centered around training for this marathon in London. Running like I'm Forrest Gump. Running like I'm the diarrhea in my shorts after eating too much Long John Silver's. Sorry, too far. So join me on my journey to London, England to run 26.2 miles as an excuse for me to eat like shit more. Okay, in reality, I'm actually doing this because it's fun to do hard things and to challenge yourself, and what could be possibly harder right now for me than to do a marathon. Bill and I headed to the Cleveland airport with only 3 days till the marathon in London starts because I am a terrible planner. And wow, we're already there? Just kidding, there's conveniently a British-themed pub in the Cleveland airport. I cheers with my new friend Connor, who watches the YouTube videos. Thank you for your service, Connor. And Bill and I hopped on a 15-minute flight to Detroit, Michigan. Went to a glizzy spot in the airport. Pretty insane move to do before an 8-hour flight. And then hopped on an 8-hour flight in the middle of the night to London, England. Oh wait, before that, I actually decided to do some stretching in the airport. I promise I wasn't dry humping the ground. There is a lacrosse ball under my quad. Anyways, not the point. They say that London is just right across the pond, but like, guys, how big is this pond? The next morning, we woke up in the city I'd be racing in approximately 48 hours. We quickly Ubered to the hotel and checked in, which, by the way, this hotel had a Dave's Hot Chicken across the street. We are thousands of miles away from home. I literally cannot escape this place. The Big Apple, London, England, the city that never sleeps. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere in London town. Sorry. I had literally no idea how to train for a marathon, which probably makes sense to all the people keeping score at home because I don't know how to do most things. Fortunately for me, I ended up using Runna as my race training provider. They're a personalized automated running coaching app offering plans from 5Ks all the way up to ultra marathons and everything in between. From tempo runs, interval runs, easy runs. I love the easy runs. It was honestly amazing to watch my fitness increase over the past 3 months thanks to my training that I did with Runna. So real quick, if you want to sign up to a goal of your own, download Runna from the link in the description and use code SIRYACHT. The app has a plan for you whether you just want to make running a sustainable habit and get fitter, or you're training for a specific race or distance. Enjoy my community space. It's called Ship Happens. That was a clever name by me. And share your progress alongside me. I promise you won't regret it. It's an awesome race training app. Okay, anyways, let's get back into the video. And then met up with the Runna team who knows how to throw a damn party. We then hopped on a privately chartered Uber boat. Surprisingly to nobody, that is a sentence that I've never said before. And we got a tour through a bunch of cool London history like the Tower Bridge, the London Eye, and Big Ben. Hey, I hope to meet Big Ben one day. I hope he's big. Sorry. And that tour took us to the expo building to pick up our race bibs. And as I picked up the bib I'd be wearing, that's when it hit me. No, not literally. It's a metaphor. My first ever official marathon would be one of 7 world majors. The world majors, for those who don't know, are Boston, Chicago, and New York in the United States, and internationally are Sydney, Australia, Berlin, Germany, Tokyo, Japan, and London, England. And not only am I saying this because it's a huge inflection point for the plot, but it's also actually a pretty big deal. Like, I have the absolute privilege of running this amazing race, and I'm going to do that because I traveled very far to do it, and I'm not doing it would be very stupid. The next day came, and it was 24 hours until the biggest race of my entire life.
You look confused.
I have resting confused face. Now, although this technically is my first official marathon, it's not technically the first marathon I've ever ran. 2 years ago, I woke up and I ran a marathon without training. It took me 7 hours, and I went to bed that day at 4 p.m. I do not recommend doing this without training. It was actually the worst thing ever. It was horrible, and you should use Runna. And 4 years ago, in an even dumber decision, I attempted the Cleveland Marathon while wearing cross-country skis. They don't call me a professional dumbass for no reason. The race officials made me finish the half marathon. They had driven me 4 miles of it because they couldn't block the roads long enough for me, and I finished in dead last. Since I only did 9 miles on the actual marathon, I had to do the remaining 17.2 in a tow path nearby. And yeah, I couldn't walk for like 5 days, and that was also a very horrible decision. So yeah, this is my first official one. Anyways, that morning I met up at the Runna Race Hub to do a nice easy shakeout run with a bunch of super cool people. I ran by a bunch of cool spots again in London, and I already was getting a ton of adrenaline from that easy run. The people around town were buzzing, and there were rumored to be over 1 million spectators that were going to be at the marathon in London, which is approximately 1 million more people than I'm used to in my training. The city was absolutely electric, and I could not wait for tomorrow.
Pretty good. Marathon is a go.
Also, side note, I will be purchasing compression boots. They literally changed my life. I went to a carb load meal at a really nice Italian restaurant with a lot of the Runna peoples. Shout out Carbs, I love you so much. Bill and I walked around exploring London, and then we ate more carbs for dinner at a pizza spot, and then we promptly went to bed before race day. And admittedly, I did not sleep super well that night before the marathon for no other reason than I was really freaking excited. For the past 13 weeks, all my hard work, all my training led up to the biggest moment probably in my entire life so far. Because I am not married, and I don't have kids, and I've mostly lived for myself to this point. But one day, I hopped on a bus to LAX, party in the USA. I hopped on a bus where they took us pretty far out of the city to the start line for the marathon. And I made a few friends on the way, and then 3 other friends while at the actual start line.
Arthur, how are you feeling for the YouTube audience? You feel good?
Feeling excited. God bless.
Esther, how are you feeling?
I'm hyped. I'm
Me
excited.
too. I'm nervous as well, but
Adrenaline's cooking.
yes, we're cooking.
I'm ready to crush.
Let's go, dude. Let's go.
Courtney, you should remember, she will be very important later in the video for the plot.
There wouldn't be a video by me if I didn't just come out of a porta potty.
My nerves were definitely kicking in. I may have used the porta potty like 5 times leading up to the race. And I also, it took some Imodium to clog me up because I'm absolutely leaving nothing to chance. I will not be taking a dump during the marathon. But about nerves, I was taught that being nervous is just your body getting ready for something really important and really big. And boy, was I ready. The next 2 hours consisted of stretching, destroying a porta potty, and mentally preparing.
It's time to run the London Marathon.
And before I knew it, my wave was called, and it was time to finally start the greatest race I will ever run.
And shout out to our pacers! Let's go! Let's go!
Throughout my training, I had 2 goals for the marathon. First was to finish under 4 hours. Second was to not stop at all. So let's continue watching to see if I do it. The energy at the beginning of the marathon was electric, and I tried taking it all in and appreciating it while simultaneously doing the best I could in my performance to lock in. Also, I'd like to acknowledge another thing, and that is if you notice, I'm not wearing headphones, and throughout my entire training, I wore headphones. And I'm not wearing them today because a person from Runna told me not to soak in all that energy from the 1 million London spectators. And boy, they were not wrong because it was unbelievable.
Mile 1.
My first mile was done at an 8:23 pace, which is well under the 9-minute pace I need to have to do this race in under 4 hours. But you know what they say, it's a marathon and not a sprint. Unless you're Sebastian Sawe and Yomif Kajelka, who ran this exact marathon in under 2 hours. For them, it's literally a marathon and a sprint. But back to the normal people. Like, the only thing that would make this more unbelievable is if I was racing alongside Daddy Pig.
No way. Daddy Pig, let's go. Come on now.
Well, anyways.
I have a feeling I'm going to do a little more talking at the beginning as opposed to the end, so apologies for that, but you probably understand.
Definitely will do a lot less talking later in the video.
Mile 2, feeling good.
My focus at the time, though, turned to doing my best to lock in and not focus on the next mile, just the current mile in front of me.
Mile 3. Feeling good after 3 miles, though. Feeling good.
In the first part of the race, I realized I was basically getting a free tour of one of the coolest cities in the world. Oh, what am I doing?
Mile 4. This is feeling pretty good. Need some water. Time to take one of these. Mile 5.
My first 5 miles, I kept my pace in between 8 minutes and 8:30, which is right where I want it to be. And yes, there were about 59,000 other people racing the marathon in London, but I wasn't racing against any of them. I was just racing against myself. And as long as I focus on that, today was going to be just fine. It was going to be really hard, but it'll be just fine.
Mile 6. Still feeling good.
The energy of the crowd really gave me a lot of adrenaline, so every chance I got, I tried to high-five people spectating and give that same energy back to them. Whenever I pumped up the crowd, they pumped me up right back. So it was just like this really fun thing that I tried to do the entire race. I got to mile 6, and that's where we ran into the most lively spectators I had seen yet.
Let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on, let's go.
I seriously could not believe how many people and how many loud people there were at mile 6. It was just like one of the most surreal things I think I've ever experienced in my entire life, and that just like boosted me even more.
Mile 6, best energy so far. The adrenaline is through the roof. The energy in the crowd is ridiculous.
That mile was so incredible, in fact, that I totally forgot to look for the mile 7 markers.
Mile 7? I don't know. I don't know if I saw it, but mile 7.
Now, during my training, the most I had run without stopping was 10 miles. And like I said earlier, one of my 2 goals today is to run the entire marathon without stopping. To help me with this, I would take water from the water stations while running, as well as the 6 gels I had with me in my pocket. And I would take my energy gels every 3 to 4 miles to get some necessary carbohydrates to fuel me.
First time a real ball knower saw me was right before mile 8.
Oh, and right before mile 8, one of my subscribers yelled "Sir Yacht" at me, so that, made my day as well. In fact, I think there were like 7 groups of people that yelled "Sir Yacht" or Joey, my government name, at me. And if you did that, thank you so much.
I think 8 miles, I'm not sure. Mile 9. Mile 10, feel pretty good. I'm not gonna stop running for now.
I then got to 10 miles on the course, still running at a decent pace.
I feel good, the energy is amazing. Energy's amazing. In my training, I would usually stop after 10 miles, but I think I'm gonna keep going.
My pace wasn't as low as it was before, but it was still under 9 minutes, which I felt pretty good about. And I didn't feel any pain. I was just focused on the next step in front of me and the next step after that, and so on and so forth. Like I said, at this point, typically at mile 10, I would stop, but honestly, I felt so good, and I was on this like runner's high from all the energy in the crowd. I decided to keep going.
Mile 11. Feeling pretty good. Energy's great.
I theoretically could stop later, and I wouldn't be mad at myself if I needed to. But also my thought process was if I did stop, it would be a lot harder for me to start again. So I figured if I just kept going, it's like that Newton's law of motion, like an object that's still moving is going to move. I'll put it right here. It's going to say it a lot better. I kept screaming at people as they screamed at me, as it was a great strategy for distracting myself, but also a great way to channel my caveman ancestors.
Mile 12. I think I'm about to see Bill.
I was still feeling good at miles 11 and 12, approaching the halfway point of the entire race. And at this point, you might be thinking to yourself, hey, didn't you bring Bill to London? Where in the world is Bill?
All right, good morning, guys. I want to bring you along for my ride.
Well, unfortunately for Bill, he fell into a well. No, just kidding. The marathon was so packed with spectators that Bill was actually recommended to pick 2 spots in the entire race to go for filming. The first spot being the iconic Tower Bridge, which was right before mile 13 for me.
This view you're about to see is crazy.
I took in the unbelievable scenery on the bridge, but then locked in for a little bit to find Bill.
Bill! Let's go, Joey! Let's go!
And when I did, I got so excited to see him for like 30 seconds.
Wow, guys, that was incredible. Absolutely insane. I was there for 4 hours.
Oh yeah, by the way, Bill waited for 4 hours just to get that shot. Tough scenes.
All right, got to see Bill. That was sick. That was sick. Thanks to the person that won the London Marathon that just finished, broke the world record under 2 hours. And everyone, including the runners, were clapping and were so hyped. So cool.
We were running the same exact race as the 2 fastest people to ever run a marathon. And hey, maybe one day I could join them for coffee. I then approached mile 13 and then 13.1.
13.1, half marathon, halfway through this race.
The exact halfway point of the marathon in London. Well, kinda. By distance, yes, obviously 13.1 is half of a full marathon, but a lot of running experts say the actual two halves of a marathon are from miles 1 to 20, and then from miles 20 to 26.2. The race gets exponentially harder at mile 18, and by mile 20, you basically feel like you are running backwards. As difficult as it is physically, it's even more difficult mentally. So I got that going for me, which is nice.
Mile 14, haven't stopped yet, feeling pretty good still. Slow down a little bit, but that's okay. Mile 15, I think mile 16.
For right now, I really couldn't believe how good I was feeling. In miles 14, 15, and 16, I had no want or need to stop.
Every time the crowd cheers us on, it gives me a huge adrenaline boost, which is awesome. I need this when I'm training back home. Let's go! Come on, let's go! Woo!
It's crazy how much easier a marathon is when you actually train for it. I will never do that again. And as I hit mile 17, I was thinking to myself, I'm getting a little tired.
Mile 17! I'm getting tired.
Oh wait, I said that out loud. One of the most beautiful things I heard about running a marathon comes from my best friend Randy, and it's basically a celebration of all your training.
3/4 of the way through my 15-mile run. This is tough.
It's a culmination of your hard work and all the 59,000 other people that are running the marathon in London and their hard work. It's also the spectators and the energy of the city of London and that entire event coming together. It's something that you can't recreate ever in your life, especially your first marathon. Additionally, there were so many causes that people were raising money for while running this marathon, and so many things that people had been through just to get to this moment. So many hard things in their life. Less than 1% of people will run a marathon in their lifetimes, and to me, that's not real pressure. The stuff that I just mentioned is real pressure. And one of the coolest things I try to tell myself is how blessed am I to have this as my pressure.
Mile 18, sore, but I'm gonna finish this damn race. Mile 19, mile 20, it's really hurting, but if I stop, it'll hurt even more.
I carried that mindset with me through miles 18, 19, and 20 and kept my pace around the high 8 minutes to low 9 minutes per mile before then approaching the dreaded second half of this marathon, mile 20. The math ain't mathin', but it made sense to me in the moment because I was in pain. Throughout the 13 weeks I trained using Runna, I had ran a ton of tempos and intervals that really got my speed up, but they also helped me push through uncomfortable portions of running. And that got me obviously super ready physically for this race today, but more importantly, it got my mind right.
I'm running this London Marathon. I'm not only running it, I'm making it my. Let's go.
Your mind can do super hard things, but a lot of it is about what you're telling yourself. If you're feeding yourself negative thoughts and you're telling yourself that you're in pain and you have so much more to run and there's no way that you can finish, then you know what? You're going to be right. You're not going to finish. But if you tell yourself positive thoughts, if you tell yourself that this is such a blessing and such a cool thing to do, and you appreciate everything, you tell yourself to keep going, odds are you're going to be right about that too.
Mile 21, 5.2 left. Oh my gosh.
And I kept my positive mindset and focused on the energy the crowd was giving me, and I got myself to mile 21.
Mile 22, only 4.2 to go. Let's go, let's go.
And then to mile 22.
Mile 23, 3.2 to go. Let's go.
And then to mile 23.
Mile 24, 2.2 to go. Let's go.
And then to mile 24. And at that point, I was thinking to myself, yeah, there is absolutely no way I am stopping today. I mean, I'll stop at the end, but not before that. Obviously. And I only had 2.2 miles before I finished that marathon in London. And yeah, like I said at the beginning of the video, this is the portion where I didn't really film a lot at all, so bear with me.
We're back at the Big Ben.
Fortunately, Bill was waiting for me around mile 25 where the iconic Big Ben was. Unfortunately for me, I was hallucinating and I did not see him or the Big Ben at all.
Let's go, Joey! Yeah, Joey!
I mean, come on, guys. It's like not that obvious. It's not like Big Ben has the word big in it. Is it even that big? But shout out Bill, for real. Man waited for hours and hours and got like his pasty white skin burnt just to get a couple shots of me running by. What a guy. Also, I got burnt too. My skin isn't much better.
Mile 25, we got one more mile, 1.2. Let's finish strong. Let's go.
The 26.2 miles that the marathon distance is, I believe, is the perfect distance. If it was 26.3 miles, I truly believe I would have not finished it, but for some reason 26.2 is like the perfect test for how your body and mind can work together. And honestly, at mile 25.5, I was at my will's end and I was really struggling to keep going. But remember what I said at the beginning of the video on how my new friend Courtney would be super important? Well, Courtney was in the wave behind me, and fortunately for me, she is very fast and actually caught up to me as I was filming conveniently. So good for the plot. And I'd asked her if she could pace me for the final half mile or so of the marathon. And there's nothing really she had to change or do to help me out. She was just running really fast. So I basically asked for permission for me to chase her the rest of the marathon, I guess. I don't know. In that moment, I reflected on all the sacrifice, aka not doing as many eating challenges during my training as I would have liked to.
Mile 26, almost done.
And all the miles on the treadmill in the winter, in the rain and slush outside, the long runs, the sprints, the moments where I wanted to give in, but I didn't. I have so much respect for anybody who goes and does a marathon, no matter what their time is. It is one of the most physically and mentally tough things that you can do in life. But the difficulty of a marathon physically and mentally come nowhere close to the joy that I get from completing it.
Yes, thank you. 26.2, London Marathon. First marathon, first world major. Under 4 hours. Let's go.
And I crossed the finish line next to Courtney with my time of 3 hours, 54 minutes, and 20 seconds, an average pace of 8:56 per mile without stopping once. I lost cell service and was limping around trying to find Bill, and by sheer dumb luck, he had found me, and also my British friend Paul found me.
Oh my God.
I did.
I was hoping. This is Paul right here. This is our guy.
Oh, yeah?
Which, remember him for the next video. He's going to be very important because he's going to be our tour guide to go to the 10 best pubs in London. Ooh, pubs.
Dude, congratulations.
Ask me if I stopped.
Did you stop?
No. Can barely walk. May take me an hour to get to the celebration spot.
Bill and I went over to the Runner Race Hub where I rang the bell for if this race was your personal best. Even though it was my first marathon, it still technically was my personal best. I got my race portraits. It's called fashion, look it up. Put on some compression boots because those things rock. And we celebrated with a lot of the runners on one hell of an accomplishment. I just want to say thank you again to Runna. My fitness is the best it has ever been. And I finished that marathon in London because of the training I did on their app. So if you want to do the same thing, which I'd strongly recommend you do, click the link in the description to sign up for Runna once again with my code SIRYACHT and join my community space Ship Happens to talk about what you're training for with me. I also fear that I did probably contract something when I was in London, and that was the race bug, because I'm addicted to this sport and I'm definitely going to do a bunch of marathons in the future. Super excited for that.
I know what I like, baby, I like you. Miss American Pie with the high Q. Oh my, I do. Just fly right through. We'll get high as a kite in the afternoon.
Do a little celebration at Dave's. Get the Reaper again?
No. Person's gonna get run over.
Did he get run over? Did he? Did he get hit, Joey? You tell me.
Excuse me. Please step aside. That's how you move. Literally. Excuse me.
That's so funny.
You guys want to